Today's lesson was to incorporate using the smartboard in the classroom. Being that I don't have a smartboard to use on a daily basis, I wanted to incorporate a lesson that would be able to use the smartboard but could also be used with the projector that I have in my classroom. So with that, I'm going to start out the lesson with the students being at their seats playing this game that you see in front of you. And it's called You've Got My Property. So today we're practicing the properties of algebra. And in this game, the students are going to match each of these equations with the correct property. And the idea is to be the last person to match the last two equations. So they have to strategize and maybe not get it right every single time so that they can be the last one to match it. So this is the activity that they'll be working on while I'll be utilizing the smartboard, and I'm going to be utilizing the smartboard as a formative assessment. So the students will be coming up one by one and working with me to create a matching activity with me using the smartboard. So as the students come up, or in my case not the smartboard, the projector, they have to take the equations on the right here and they have to drag them, and I do have a pen that they can do this with using the whiteboard. And they have to drag them to the correct property. So this first one here, where it's 3 times a plus b equals 3, that's going to be the distributive property, so they would have to drag it over to the distributive property. So each of the students will come up one by one, and this will help me assess where they are at, where they need improvement. I may send them back to their seats to play the game again, or to practice in the book and get more practice until they can come up and accurately match each of the properties with each of these equations. So using the smartboard idea, I created this lesson so that I can actually still use the lesson in my classroom where I don't have a smartboard. I really would love to learn more about using the smartboard, and I do plan to play with this notebook express a little bit. I really like the games where you can throw the koosh ball at the screen. However, that would not be a capability in my classroom at this point. I hope in the future someday that we will get to use that type of activity in the classroom. So using this as my lesson, the standards that were covered was 2, design and develop digital age learning experiences and assessments. And its teachers design and develop and evaluate authentic learning experiences and assessments, incorporating contemporary tools and resources to maximize content learning in context and to develop knowledge, skills, and attitudes identified in the standards for students. This particular lesson incorporates 2D, which provides students with multiple and varied formative and summative assessments aligned with content and technology standards and use resulting data to inform learning and teaching. So as the students are coming up to the whiteboard, I'm able to use that information of how they're doing with the learning goal for the day or the learning target for the day and send them back to their seats for maybe a more challenging problem, or maybe just to practice the task at hand and come back up and try again. So when we look at the rubric for 2D, provides students with multiple and varied formative and summative assessments aligned with content and technology standards and use resulting data to inform learning and teaching. That was the actual standard. So with this one, I would say I was proficient. I provided students with multiple and varied opportunities to demonstrate their learning. They had the game activity and they had the smartboard. They made database decisions to customize and adapt future learning opportunities aligned with content and technology standards. So as they were up doing the smartboard activity, we were able to see where they were going to go next for their future learning. Were they going to go to the next step, or were they going to go back and get some more practice? So that was my smartboard lesson, and that was properties of algebra.